Good morning, everyone. Just thought I'd do a quick video on the ute, end of year type thing, you know. Just finished at the gym and I just thought I'd finally do this review on the new seats. So back in October, I got some GTP seats for the ute. I've wanted these for a long time. I think probably close to 10 years I've wanted a set of these, and they've never sort of come up on Marketplace or anything like that. And then I reached out to Pro Seat at Brenda and they had a set ready to go. So these are black, and unfortunately at the moment they've got blue stitching, but you can't even notice it. And the reason I went for these particular seats is that pretty much it was about a 4 to 6 month wait on these seats, and these come up at a really good deal. I got a discount on them just because the guy who initially ordered these, he wanted diamond stitching through the center and they didn't come with that. So I was looking for more of an OEM look. I didn't want to, you know, go all out and be a bit more, I guess, bombastic with the seats and stuff. I wanted something that was just neat, tidy, classy, looked like it had come from factory. So I'm trying to go for that OEM plus sort of look in the ute. I don't want to go too crazy with door cards getting done, and door cards are already leather. Eventually I'll probably just get red stitching done on them or something like that. But in terms of price, so these were $2,700, I believe. They're usually about $3 grand to $3,200 depending on what material you want and stuff like that. Again, Pro Seat and Brendale, really good dudes. They did this in a day, so I dropped the car off, ready to go same day. Dan, really good dude to deal with. As for the seats themselves, really good quality material. The foams are really solid. The seats that were in this were just clapped out G6 E-seats. They sort of had seen better days. They were off the 2011 or 2012 G6E, so I'm Mark II. But I picked them up for a steal. They were only a couple $100 from a guy I bought off in Brisbane. And it doesn't really matter what seat you want to get retrimmed, as long as it's a forward seat, it's got the forward frame. Everything still works on these. The airbags will work. Biggest thing for me is there's no dramas with compliance. Perfectly legal. The cops can't pin you for it. They're a factory spec. Everything like that. But then now we come down to comfort. So I'm a big dude. I'm 6'2". I'm north of 150, and they are a bit of a tight squeeze for me personally. Super comfortable seat. Like I wouldn't change it, but being a big dude, I got big legs. I'm thick with 3 C's, as the kids say. So I sit a little bit higher, but obviously, you know, over time the seats do break in. I sit a little bit lower. I sit about half an inch to maybe an inch lower than what I did when I first initially got them. It was a bit of a shock when I first sat in the car. I was like, wow, these are sitting really high. But the electrics all still work, everything like that. So I was able to lower the seat, tilt it back, tilt it forward. All the analog, all these wheels in that back here, they all still work. And just the fitment's really good, eh? Like, you can't even tell. Like, you wouldn't know that these came from an upholsterer. Yeah, these look like they came from factory. But yeah, so that's the seats. Would highly recommend anyone with an FG, whether it be a ute or a sedan, get yourselves a set of these seats, because they're unreal, eh? Yeah, they are definitely worth the money. I think they're probably in my opinion, they're the best seat ever produced by an Australian manufacturer, being Ford and Holden, but I'm taking into account your Land Cruisers and your Hiluxes and everything is sort of built for Australian roads and built for Australia. These are by far and away the best seat that you could possibly get, I feel, in my opinion. It's not hard to see why guys are putting these in their 4-wheel drives and in their other cars and stuff like that, you know. But yeah, obviously the plan is later on into 2024, everyone says that I'm gonna lose weight into 2024, but you know, I got a bubba on the way, so I want to be around for her a bit more. So I want to be able to run around with her and stuff like that. So as I lose weight, these seats will fit me a lot better and everything like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the For the seats, nothing else going on in the interior really, but would highly recommend a set of these. Something else that we've done to the car too. So I had the, I've gone back to the OEM headlights. So I picked these up for $300. Absolute steal in my opinion. Super clean. Came off a 2013 or a 2014 turbo, I believe. The guy bought them off, super cool dude. Lived out near Queensland Raceway, so it was a bit of a hike from Olimba here, where I'm living now. But yeah, for $300 you can't go wrong. And I had a lot of dramas. A few people have asked me about the headlights I did have. I had the Mars, Mars Performance out of Melbourne. I had their headlights, their aftermarket ones with the Audi R8 DRLs. As they got older, I started to have nothing but dramas with them. Just you know, condensation, cracking, all that sort of piss. And yeah, they sort of over time started to really just condensate, and I was blowing bulbs left, right and center, and they're just not as bright as these. Like, I never should have gone away from the factory headlights. Like, I do eventually want the SS Customs ones, but yeah, these are perfect in my opinion. You can't go wrong, eh? Sorry, it's just some dude going to the gym. As for 2024, pretty much, I suppose in regards to life, yeah, the wife and I bought a house, bought a new car. We've got Bubba on the way in about a week or so. So yeah, it's all coming together. But the Ute not going anywhere. I've had my best mate message me. He's like, "Sell me the Ute." She's not going anywhere. This thing's staying with me for life. But in regards to 2024 plans for the car, so I want to get the front bumper fixed. I kind of want a brand new front bumper. So the prices at the moment are just absurd. People are asking $700, and it's like, that's not worth it, in my opinion anyway. PSI on Instagram recommended these button tabs here, and you can see I've got to adjust this panel gap. It looks dog shit at the moment, but I'll have to, these just pop off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen them, drill another hole in this bracket behind the front bumper, and then move this up, so then we can get rid of this horrible panel gap. It's not too bad when you look at it from a distance, but up close it looks atrocious. So I'll eventually do that, but I want to put one here, and then I want to put one here. Like, this one's here, and then I want to put another one here, and then I want to do that on both sides. And I kind of like the look. I think it looks cool. It looks, you know, stealthy. You can't really tell that it's there unless you're up close. But big thanks to PSI Hove on Instagram for not only giving me two spare that he had, but then also you know, putting me onto the idea of actually doing this. They do actually look cool, in my opinion anyway. That's kind of that old early 2000s Ricer coming out in me. Next thing too is that I am thinking about maybe changing the steering wheel. So I do love this steering wheel. It's phenomenal, looks awesome, but I'm thinking about switching to, or at least getting, I've got a spare one, I've got the original one at home, and I want to maybe get that trimmed in Alcantara with red stitching, and then have the red in the center there. And what else? I'm probably gonna do, just getting in the car, I'm gonna take off in a minute. Probably gonna look at doing, oh yeah, other thing we did too, sorry, before I go on any further, got a new ICC. So I picked this up for $500. I'm just gonna start her up. Brand new ICC. Came out of a 2013 or 2014 FG Mark II G6E Turbo, and these are sort of interchangeable. The only drama I had is that audio code error, so I've got to go to find someone around my area that has the accessibility to a program called Forescan, and then that way they can just match the ICC itself, the stock one that I've got that was originally from in this car, to the new ICC down here, because they're obviously different VIN numbers, all that jazz. I don't know why Ford did that. It makes no sense to me. It's kind of stupid in my opinion that they would have done that. But you know, they did the same with the cluster. This isn't the original cluster. I had to get a new cluster. Still original K's and that obviously, but just getting it programmed was just a pain in the ass. I did that a few years ago, but I can only imagine getting this done is a pain as well. It's the only thing that doesn't work is the radio. So I don't know why. That just blows my mind that your aircon works, your heater works, your dates and times, all your settings work, your base levels, everything like that all work, but you got no radio. So I don't know why Ford Australia did that. If you've worked at Ford Australia or you know anyone and you have an answer as to why they would have done something that dumb, well, there's a lot of shit that Ford Australia did dumb in my opinion, but like closing down, let me know, because yeah, this is kind of blows my mind that they did that. But anyway, back to the ICC. So like I said, I want to go more of an OEM, sort of finishing the interior. So I've got the black center console here, you know, gloss black, red anodized shifter, but then also I had the gloss black top hat with the gauges from K-Han Audio. And if you've seen the previous video on this car, the original ICC in this, man, it had seen better days, eh? Like, it was just like, for some reason the plastic was cracking here and here, and the silver finish was all like fading and deteriorating. Like, you know, I don't think they're Ford Australia. People wonder why they went out of business. It's like, well, when you're charging $60,000 to $65,000 for a Falcon, a car whose interior wasn't updated since 2008 apart from a bigger screen, and it's that level of build quality where just wiping it down causes stuff to crack, it's no wonder they went out of business, you know, which is, it's a shame. It really is a massive shame. But at the end of the day, I was able to pick this up for $500. Again, absolute steal in my opinion. They're retailing for about $900 to $1,000 for the better ones that I've seen. And this thing's spotless. When I bought it off this kid on the south side of Brisbane, I was surprised how good a nick it was in. I needed these aircon vents replaced because they were buggered. The aircon, there's like a filter, like a sponge filter behind it. That was all cactus in my old one. This one's brand new. The car that this came off had only done like 40,000 Ks. So this thing's essentially brand new. Like, all the buttons work. That was one of the biggest things I went. And now the interior, it's finally, apart from the steering wheel, which I love this steering wheel, it's so cool. But I think I want to go a bit more subtle. I want to do full Alcantara, red stripe down the center, and then red stitching the whole way around to give it, just to match the boots, give it more of that, it's going to sound stupid, but that more race car sort of look. I'm going for kind of a club sport sort of feel in this car, saying, like, you know, I said it in the previous video, vibing that sort of, you know, 2016 to 2021 Shelby GT350, GT500 sort of look, you know, like gloss accents, some satin, and then everything's Alcantara. The seats are functional, like leather functional seats, all that sort of jazz. But back to 2024. Big plans are fix the front bumper for now, and then eventually save up and get a new front bumper, and then refit it by a proper panel beater. Get them to do it, because the sag on these things, if you've got an FG, you know that the sag in these cars is unbearable. It looks terrible. It looks atrocious. Excuse me. I want to either get a full link rear, or I want to do cow tracks in the back. The only reason I want to do cow tracks is to keep the functionality of the car. I can throw stuff in the back, everything like that, and then the leaf springs will sort of handle the load in the car. Four link would be preferable, purely from a, you know, track sort of perspective, where I do want to take this to more skid control events, like skid pan days, track days, stuff like that, at Lakeside and stuff like that, and really enjoy the car. I did a bit of that this year, but just due to work commitments and family and stuff, not as much as I would have liked. But hopefully 2024, even with the bub on the way, we'll still get a little bit more time to do that. Just have to figure out my schedule a bit more. Next thing is driveline. So tail shaft. I want to build tail shaft, and I want to put 411s in this car. The gears in this car are really, really long, and it's awesome. It's so good. Like, cruising on the highway, it's 1800 at 110. It's still pretty economical, even though it's making 400 kilowatt on 98. it's still not too bad. But I do want a built tail shaft, so that'll probably just get sent off to Driveline Solutions in Brendale, I believe they're called, and they'll just reinforce the actual stock tail shaft, remove the center bearing, put a spherical, I can't remember what type of bearing they said. I should know this, I'm a fitter, but basically much more sturdier unit, and have it sort of rated to that 1,000 horsepower mark, because I want everything in this car built to handle over 1,000, but it'll never see 1,000. It doesn't need to. If you've driven, like, this car's only making 400 kilowatt, and that's low by today's standards for a Falcon, it's still a handful in the right conditions, you know, like, and it drives great, like, it you know, with 11-inch wide wheels on the, wheels, I'll get to that, 11-inch wide wheels on the rear, it just, yeah, it hooks up, it doesn't, even if it does kick the tail loose, it hooks up and it just goes. Next thing, clutch. So the clutch is starting to slip. It's an MPC 520 kilowatt rated clutch, and it's only 2 years old, so I don't know why it's slipping. I'm kind of not too happy about that. Granted, it was installed in Townsville, so perhaps the thrust bearing is showing its age. There were a couple of issues when we initially installed the clutch. The original shop in Townsville who did it, I won't say who they are, but they put the wrong clutch in initially, didn't tell me about it, and whole big thing. But yeah, so 520 kilowatt rated clutch, it slips in 4th, 5th and 6th at full load, from about 3,000 RPM. So right as boost, it hits full boost at about $3,000. This car, 2,800 to $3,000 depending on the gear you're in. And once that happens in 4th, 5th or 6th, it'll just go straight to red line real fast, and it's like, all right, the clutch is slipping, I need to get it repaired. So hopefully it's just a clutch plate or a pressure plate. I'll probably get the clutch fork replaced too, because that's, you know, it's 11 years old nearly, and it's got 260,000 Ks on it, so, you know, there's probably time for a bit of a refresh in that area. Wheels, let's go to wheels. So I've got new wheels for the car. I sold the rotors because I love that look, but I want something different. And I settled, well, I didn't settle because I've wanted these wheels for a long time, on a set of Koya SFO ones. So these are 18 by 10 at the front, and they're 18 by 11 at the rear. Can't remember the offsets off the top of my head, but they're in a GTR grey. And the reason I went with these wheels is that they look very similar to the style that the V8 supercars used to use back in, like, the early 2010s. And I love that look. Like, these are purely functional. They do the job. Everyone whinges about Koya for some reason. People whinge about anything that isn't work or Volk or Forge Line or HRE. But guess what? They're all built in the same factory. So, whinge all you want. They look wicked, in my opinion. They look awesome. Big thing. We also had the steering rack redone. So the whole steering rack has been completely refurbed from top to bottom. It's amazing how different this car felt after I had that done. So I just recently had the brake pads. What are they called? Your handbrake, brake pads, whatever, done at the rear, because the car would not hold. The passenger side was pretty much gone. The driver's side was barely holding. So we got those done. Car's had a full service top to bottom. All the fluids have been dropped, replaced, just in time for the new year, because no matter what happens, whenever Christmas rolls around, something goes wrong with this car, and we found out that was the clutch. So the clutch still holds power, obviously. First, second, third, and then most of fourth. But like I said, it is starting to slip, so we need to get that looked at. But back to the rack. We had the whole rack reconditioned, refurbed, all new seals, all new lines. Whole thing's been repainted, and it's unreal, eh? Like, just how sloppy the steering was in this car, and you don't even notice it, is insane. The steering feels heavy now. It feels really good. I can feel every little bump in the road. The car feels like it feels like you're actually driving the car, if that makes sense. I know that sounds stupid. I'm not a car journalist, I'm not Chris Harris, but it definitely felt way different. And to me, that's exactly what I was looking for. But last and final thing for 2024 will be, if we can, I really want a built engine. Either I'll buy one that's already been built, or I'll just buy an FG NA motor, and I'll just build the whole thing myself. And we'll hopefully have an engine that's built to make 1,000 horsepower, or if not more than that. And then once it's built for 1,000, we'll hopefully have the drive line, the diff gears, everything like that. Make this car a lot more lively in the rev range, everything like that. And yeah, start to really not worry about the car. Like, it is a Barra, knock on wood. They are bulletproof to an extent if you don't beat the absolute snot out of them all the time. Like any engine really, any modern engine. But yeah, goal would be 1,000 horsepower engine, and then sort of aim for that 650 horsepower at the wheels on E85. I want to do flex fuel in this car eventually, external gate, all that jazz. But it's all time, it's all money. And yeah, that's pretty much it on the car. I am looking for another car. Like, the wife and I just bought an MUX, like a 2023 Isuzu MUX, and that car's unreal. Like, it's a really nice car. That'll sort of be the tow car for this car as well too, apart from doing family duties and all that jazz. But I am looking for another car. I've driven an FGX XR8, and I will admit it felt very similar to this. Steering was a bit better. Even though the brakes were 4-piston, I probably will do the brakes as well on this car too. Even though they were 4-piston, the pedal felt a lot firmer for some reason. So this car probably does need a new brake booster. And then I'll probably do the DBA 2-piece slotted rotors at the front, and then I'll just do the 5000 series or 3000 series, the gold ones at the rear, and then I'll change to a more aggressive pad, and then braided brake lines as well too, just to really get the braking on this car on point. Because yeah, they kind of blew me away, because the brakes in this are really good, but the pedal is a little bit soft until you're sort of an inch into it, and then it really starts to like put the brakes on hard. Whereas the FGX that I drove, that was, you tap the pedal on the 4-pop Brembos and it started to pull it up right away. So that was kind of surprising. So that's something we'll have to address in the new year. What else? I mean, rambling on for 22 minutes now. Built engine. Oh yeah, so I drove the FGX, a little bit underwhelming compared to this. It was the 335 motor with the blower on it, so I expected a bit more out of it. It definitely felt like it just wanted to keep going, but it felt like it was held back. You know, which you wake those cars up with tune, injectors, fuel pump, cats, all that jazz. But I've been looking at an SS, a VFSS as well too. I've been looking at a few of those. I've been looking at a couple of Club Sports, and I don't know, man. Something's drawing me to the dark side, to the Holdens. I don't know whether it's the refinement, the interior, the motor. Like, I've always wanted an LS, and a lot of them are coming. They're not too badly priced. 50 grand will get you a nice VFSS with a blower, with a Harrod blower already on it. So with low Ks and a manual. So that's sort of what I'm probably going to aim for in the new year as well too. Is that I want another car. I want something that put a baby seat in, drive around in, it's super fast, super reliable. Makes a lot of noise, which is what I want. And this car will not be put to the side at all by any stretch, but I can not put as much Ks on this thing, and then just start coming up with a game plan to not necessarily restore it, but look at eventually getting it repainted, wrapped, or PPF'd, and then just kind of not restoring the car, but just kind of keeping it in a really good condition, regardless of the Ks. Like, Ks to me, I don't care about personally. Everyone freaks out about, oh, it's got so many Ks on it, it's not going to be reliable. Not true. You You replace all your bushes, you replace all your arms, you replace your suspension. You take care of the car. It will take care of you. But that's pretty much it, guys. I think we're at the end of the video. If you know of a good VFSS, preferably 2014 or up, and you're looking to sell, hit me up in the comments, because I am trying to find one. Alright, cool. Have a good day, everyone. Have a good new year. See yous.